Hi everyone, welcome to this special episode of my Peter's English podcast. I decided to do a special episode about this day because today is Victory Day and we can start right now. 80th Victory Day anniversary, a tribute to heroes and remembering history special episode. Today we celebrate a very important day that must be remembered and cannot be forgotten. Today is 80th Victory Day anniversary. It is a day of celebration and remembrance for the heroes who fought for freedom against the empire of evil, against Nazi Germany. This episode is a lesson for everyone and future generations. In this episode we will dive into the history and we will explore the rise and fall of Nazi Germany, the horrors of the Holocaust, and Slovak national uprising, I don't know. I will tell you about the movie The Shop on Main Street, Obchod na Korze, and I will read you my two own fairy tales inspired by this tragic and dark time of human history. Chapter 1. The Rise of Nazi Germany, 1919 until 1943. After World War I, Germany had a lot of problems, thanks to the economical problems, political instability, national humiliation, thanks to Treaty of Versailles. This treaty imposed harsh reparations on Germany, which led to hyperinflation and mass unemployment. Treaty of Versailles. Treaty of Versailles was a peace treaty that ended the World War I. It was signed on June 28, 1919 in the Hall of Mirrors of the Palace of Versailles in France. The main terms of the treaty. Germany was declared responsible for the war and had to pay massive reparations. Territorial losses. Germany lost Alsace and Lorraine given to France, European Malmedy to Belgium, and parts of East Prussia to Poland. Military restrictions. The German army was reduced to 100,000 soldiers with a ban on tanks, aircraft and submarines. Demilitarized zone. The Rhineland had to remain free of military forces. Creation of League of Nations. It was an organization designed to maintain peace and prevent future wars. Consequences of the Treaty of Versailles. Germany saw the treaty as humiliating, calling it a dictate. Economic struggles and reparations led to a deep financial crisis, paving the way for the rise of Nazism. The Treaty of Versailles is often considered one of the causes of World War II. In this crisis, Adolf Hitler and his party, the Nazi Party NSDAP, became popular. Hitler promised to restore Germany's strength, blaming Jews, communists, and the Treaty of Versailles for the country's struggles. In 1943, Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. Soon after, the Reichstag fire allowed him to silence his enemies and create a dictatorship through the enabling act, giving him total control. Chapter 2. Life in Nazi Germany. Life in Nazi Germany was strictly controlled. It was terrible, with propaganda shaping everything. Education and young indoctrination. School taught Nazi ideology, praising Hitler and promoting Aryan superiority. Hitler Youth and League of German Girls trained children in military skills and Nazi beliefs. Women's role. Women were told to focus on Kinder, Küche, Kirche. This was people in German. Children, kitchen, church. They were expected to raise strong Aryan children and support the Nazi vision. Fear and persecution. Jews, Roma, disabled people and political opponents were targeted. The Gestapo, the secret police, watched citizens ensuring the total loyalty to the Nazi regime. Gestapo, secret police of Nazi Germany. Origin and role of Gestapo. Gestapo, Geheime Staatspolizei, was the secret political police of Nazi Germany, created on April 26, 1933 by Hermann Göring. Its main goal was to silence Nazi opponents, watch suspects, and enforce Nazi rule. In 1949, Gestapo became part of the Reich Main Security Office, RSHA, giving it total power. Methods used by Gestapo: spying and surveillance. Gestapo had a network of informants who reported suspects. Torture and interrogations. They used beatings, electric shocks, drowning, and psychological pressure. Protective custody. People could be arrested without trial and sent to concentration camps. Execution without trial. Gestapo had the power to kill people without court orders. Gestapo in Slovakia. During the war, Gestapo operated in Slovakia, watching resistance groups and deporting Jews. During the Slovak National Uprising 1944, Gestapo arrested, tortured, and executed many rebels. SS, elite forces of the Nazi regime. Origin and role of SS. SS, Schutzstaffel, started as Hitler's personal guard, but became the most powerful Nazi organization. Heinrich Himmler led SS, turning it into a military and security force. SS controlled concentration camps, mass executions, and racial purges. SS divisions were Waffen-SS. It was elite military units fighting on all battlefields. Allgemeine SS, political organization managing Nazi operations. Totenkopfverbände, SS troops running concentration camps and mass killings. Crimes of SS. And now people listen. Holocaust. SS organized the killing of millions of Jews, mainly in gas chambers. Mass executions. SS executed civilians, resistance fighters, and war prisoners. Medical experiments. SS tested chemical weapons, sterilization, and deadly drugs on prisoners. SS in Slovakia. During the Slovak National Uprising, SS burnt villages and killed thousands of civilians. Kremnička massacre 1944. SS murdered 747 people, including women and children. Nemecka massacre in 1945. SS killed 900 people, throwing them into burning lime pits. That's terrible, totally. I'm shocked. Conclusion. Gestapo and SS were the main forces of Nazi terror, committing some of the worst crimes in history. Their brutality, mass killings, and persecution left deep scars, reminding us that we must never let such horrors happen again. Chapter 3. The Holocaust. The Holocaust, known in Hebrew as Shoah, was the genocide of Jewish people during World War II. During the Holocaust, around 6 million Jewish people were killed in Europe. In Slovakia, there were about 89,000 Jewish people in 1940. It is estimated that 69,000 of them were murdered during the Holocaust. Early Nazi policies. The Nuremberg Laws 1945 removed Jewish rights and banned marriage between Jews and non-Jews. Kristallnacht in 1948 was a nationwide attack where Nazis destroyed Jewish businesses, synagogues, and homes. Ghettos and forced labors. Jews were forced into overcrowded ghettos like Warsaw, Lodz, and Krakow, facing hunger, disease, and brutal conditions. Many were sent to forced labor camps where they worked in inhuman conditions, often until they died. Concentration camps and death centers. Nazi-built camps like Auschwitz, Treblinka, Dachau and Sobibor, where prisoners faced torture, forced labor and mass killings. Gas chambers were used for mass murder, with cyclone B gas in Auschwitz. Medical experiments tested drugs, sterilization and extreme conditions on prisoners. The final solution. The Wannsee Conference in 1942 planned the extermination of all Jews in Nazi-occupied Europe. Death marches 1944-1945 forced prisoners to walk long distances in freezing temperatures, killing thousands. Liberation and consequences. The Soviet Red Army liberated Auschwitz on January 27, 1945, revealing the horrors of the Holocaust. Survivors struggle with trauma, displacement and rebuilding their lives. The Nuremberg trials, 1945-1946, punished Nazi leaders for war crimes and crimes against humanity. Chapter 4. Life in Slovakia during World War II. During World War II, Slovakia was a puppet state of Nazi Germany and a member of the Axis powers. The creation of the Slovak state. Slovakia declared independence on March 14, 1939 under Josef Tiso, aligning with Nazi Germany. The Slovak government deported most of its Jewish population, cooperating with the Nazis. War and resistance. Slovakia participated in the invasion of Poland 1939 and later fought against the Soviet Union. The Slovak National Uprising, August 1944, was a major resistance movement where rebels and partisans fought against the German army. Slovak National Uprising, 1944. What was the Slovak National Uprising? The Slovak National Uprising was a big resistance movement against Nazi Germany and the Slovak government, which was helping the Nazis. It started on August 29, 1944 and lasted until October 28, 1944. This was one of the largest uprisings in Europe during World War II. The rebels wanted to free Slovakia from Nazi control and fight for democracy. Why did the uprising happen? During World War II, Slovakia was a puppet state of Nazi Germany. The Slovak government, led by Josef Tiso, supported Hitler and helped deport Jewish people to concentration camps. Many Slovak soldiers and civilians did not agree with this. They wanted to fight back and join the Allies, countries fighting against Nazi Germany. When the Soviet army started moving closer to Slovakia, the rebels saw a chance to rise up and take control of their country. Who fought in the uprising? The uprising was led by Slovak soldiers, partisans, freedom fighters and civilians. They were supported by the Soviet Union, the United States and Czechoslovak forces. At first, the rebels controlled half of Slovakia, but soon German troops arrived to stop them. The rebels fought bravely, but the Germans had stronger weapons and more soldiers. How did the uprising end? After 2 months of fighting, the Germans defeated the rebels on October 28, 1944. Many fighters escaped into the mountains and continued fighting as partisans until the Soviet army liberated Slovakia in April 1945. Even though the uprising failed, it showed that Slovak people were brave and wanted freedom. It also helped Slovakia join the winning side of the war. Why is the uprising important? The Slovak National Uprising is a symbol of courage and resistance. It reminds people that freedom is worth fighting for and that ordinary people can stand up against oppression. Today, Slovakia celebrates the uprising every year on August 29 as a national holiday. The shop on the main street. Now, people, I want to tell you about this movie. that is very important. The Shop on the Main Street, or Obchod na Korze, story overview. The Shop on Main Street is a legendary Czechoslovak film from 1965 which won an Academy Award for Best Foreign Language film. The movie tells the story of Tono Brtko, a simple carpenter who, thanks to his brother-in-law, a local Hlinka Guard leader, is made an Aryanizer and takes control of a small shop owned by an elderly Jewish widow Rosalia Lautmanova. Rosalia is almost deaf, living in her own world, unaware of the danger around her. Tono tries to explain to her that he now controls her shop, but his friend Imro Kuchar, who opposes Aryanization, tells him that the shop is not profitable, and Rosalia survives only with help from the Jewish community. Eventually, Tono agrees with the local Jewish community that they will pay him a regular salary to remain the official Aryanizer. If he left, someone much more extreme might take his place. Slowly, Tono and Rosalia form a close bond. He helps her in the shop, repairs furniture, and tries to live peacefully. Tragic ending. When the deportation of Jews begins, Tono faces a moral dilemma. Should he hide Rosalia or let her go with the others? Under stress and alcohol, he tries to convince Rosalia to join the deported Jews, but the situation ends in tragedy. The film strongly criticizes Aryanization, showing the inner struggle of an ordinary man who accidentally becomes part of a totalitarian system. Thank you, people, for watching the facts. And now, yes, of course, I have to tell you that I found these facts thanks to Copilot, who found the facts on the internet, and thanks to it I could read it because I don't know a lot of this English vocabulary, and thanks to it I've learned a lot of new English vocabulary that I can add to my flashcard app. And how you can do it? You can download your chatbot. Thanks to it, you can chat with it in English. You can tell your AI chatbot that you want to find information about this kind of human history. Copilot or Gemini or ChatGPT can help you. It will find you the correct and the true information about it. You can write that you can that it have to use a simple English, and then it can do it, and it can write these facts in simple English that I now was using, and Bob's your uncle. Thanks to Copilot or Gemini or ChatGPT, thanks to AI intelligence, you can learn English. You can chat with it in English, and you can learn a lot of interesting and useful information about history or about something else. Now I want to tell you, thank you, Copilot, for helping me with this facts about this kind of human history. And now I want to read you my two fairy tales that were inspired by this kind of human history, and we can start right now. Wait a minute. At first I want. Here is. Here is. Wait a minute. We can start. Love in the Flames of War. Vierka's parents' story. Eva Kovačova's diary, August 1944. August 1944, the Nazi Slovak state. The Slovak state, officially known as the Slovak Republic, was a puppet state established by Nazi Germany in 1949 after the disintegration of Czechoslovakia. Under the rule of President Josef Tiso, a Catholic priest turned dictator, Slovakia became a fascist authoritarian state that collaborated with Nazi Germany during World War II. Slovakia's involvement in the war was marked by heavy anti-Semitic policies and the systematic persecution of Jews, with many being sent to concentration camps. In August 1944, the atmosphere was one of growing tension and resistance. The Slovak National Uprising SNP had erupted, led by the Czechoslovak army and Slovak partisans in defiance of the oppressive Nazi puppet government. It was a desperate attempt to free the Slovak people from the control of both Nazi forces and their own fascist collaborators. However, despite early victories, the uprising was brutally crushed by Nazi forces, and many Slovak resistance fighters were killed or sent to concentration camps. During this time, many brave Slovaks risked their lives to fight against the Nazi regime and its collaborators. In this tumultuous period, the characters in our story find themselves swept up in a war for freedom, their fates intertwined with the historic events that shaped their lives. ChatGPT has found these facts. Thank you, ChatGPT, and we can continue with my story. I'm going to read you my own story in the first from the side of the first person. I'm going to start. This is my story. I'm Eva Kovačova, a young and very pretty vampire girl who works as a nurse in the hospital in Banská Bystrica, which was the center of the SNP. I decided to help wounded partisans because I want to fight against the Nazi regime, the regime of the devil. I want to create a future where my children are free and live in peace and prosperity. My work is very hard. I work 12 hours every day, but I'm very happy that I can fight for liberty and freedom. I try to be strong, but it is not easy to see injured young people who ask for my help. Every night after my shift I have to cry. In this dark time of human history, I met my future husband. He was handsome, nice, a gentleman with a good heart. He was a romantic, full of ideals, and his beautiful eyes. I could see his motivation. He was a partisan fighter. His name is Robert Orsak, a young handsome vampire from an old vampire aristocratic family. The whole family was helping the SNP with money, and Robert had decided to fight as a partisan against the regime of the devil, Nazi Germany. We met in the hospital when he had a broken leg. Who are you? Are you an angel? Asked Robert Orsak. No, I'm a nurse, said Eva Kovačova. You're a very beautiful nurse. What's your name? Flattered Robert Orsak. Thank you. I'm Eva Kovačova. Nice to meet you, Robert, said Eva Kovačova. Me too, answered Robert Orsak. It was love at first sight between us. When Robert was healthy, we could meet when we had time. Our meetings were full of love, romance, and passion. Our happiness did not last long. When the Nazis suppressed the Slovak National Uprising, we had to hide in the forests. My sister, Lenka Kovačova, loved Robert too. She was very jealous that I had stolen Robert from her, and she decided to betray us. She sold her soul to the devil. She told the Gestapo everything about us. They found us and captured us. The Gestapo tried to interrogate us. They wanted to know everything about the partisans. They exploited the vampires first against us. We tried to be strong. One day our family attacked Gestapo and we escaped from them. The Gestapo chased us, but we found our hidden home, and our family helped us. After the fall of Nazism and the victory of Allies over Nazi Germany, we settled in the castle of my boyfriend's family. It was a big wedding and both families celebrated our wedding. After the wedding, my sister Lenka was sentenced for treason and sent to prison for vampires. The last drama occurred during our wedding night when we were celebrating our love and happiness. My sister Lenka escaped and wanted to destroy me and be with Robert forever. Hi my dear sister. Robert is my love. I escaped from prison because I want to destroy your happiness and steal Robert for myself. Nobody will help you, said Lenka Kovačová. Lenka's plan was very evil. She wanted to drink blood from a young man when I wanted to fight with her. Robert had to go with her and I started to cry. My mom motivated me, telling me that I had to fight for my love. Then I used my powers and I sent a telepathic message to every vampire in Czechoslovakia. Every vampire wanted to help me. One day, I got a message telling me where Lenka was hiding with my husband Robert. I changed myself into a bat and came for my husband. Where is my husband, sister? Said Eva with her angry voice. Robert is hidden, dear sister. Nobody can find him, said Lenka. I attacked my sister with my vampire powers. The fight was very dramatic and full of action. After my victory, Lenka didn't want to tell me where my husband was. I started to cry and wanted to destroy my sister when Robert found me and said, Stop! Eva, my sweetheart, do not that. She is your sister. I successfully escaped from the coffin that was under the ground. I'm here to be with you forever. We started to kiss each other, and our happiness, full of love, romance, and passion, could begin. We had one daughter, Vierka, the vampire girl. My evil sister went to prison where she had to work and be useful. The end. Thank you people for watching, and now we can continue with my last episode. This is the last episode, and now people we can continue with my new last fairy tale about that was inspired by Victory Day, and we can't. Wait a minute, I had to. Here is. And we can start. This is my new fairy tale, people. I'm going to read you. The last bite. Monsters Against Tyranny. Lord Vladimir Orsak's diary, Slovak, National Uprising, SNP, August 1944. After the start of Slovak National Uprising in August 1944, I decided to help Slovak National Uprising, and I created a special vampire commando. Thanks to it, we could secretly fight for freedom against the Empire of Evil. My whole vampire family agreed with the idea of fighting for freedom against the Empire of Evil. I was so scared, but vampires had to fight for freedom. Welcome, my family. Our meeting can start. Vampires can use their superpower against our enemy. We can create a special vampire commando that can secretly fight for freedom in the shadow. What do you think about it? said Lord Vladimir Orsak, the leader of the vampire community. We thought about it, and we agreed with it. We have to fight for freedom against of the evil, said every member of Vladimir Orsak's vampire family. The special vampires commando started to fight in the shadows during nights. Lord Vladimir Orsak was the leader of the commando. Lord Vladimir Orsak met with the leaders of SNP. The leaders were very shocked, but they agreed with the help of vampires. Vampires were perfect spies, assassins. They discovered a lot of important information from Nazi. They eliminated a lot of key Nazi officers. They stole important secrets documents that were about the plans of Nazi Germany. They destroyed a lot of Nazi tanks, weapons, and barricades. They supported soldiers of SNP with their supernatural power. They created a lot of brilliant plans for SNP. The military command of Nazi decided to hire the main enemies of vampires, werewolves. They lied them about the big future for werewolves when they will help to destroy vampires. The werewolves could use vampires as their slaves. Werewolves agreed and they created a special commando that must catch vampires. Werewolves planned how to catch vampires. They caught Lord Vladimir Orsak's wife, Lady Zofia, with all vampire women and they used them as a bait. Vampires tried to save them, but it was a big trap. Werewolves successfully caught them all. Their plan was a big success. Lady Zofia started to have a big problem. The werewolves wanted to marry her with their leader, who fell under the spell of Lady Zofia's breathtaking beauty, unable to resist her charm. Lady Zofia skillfully used her charm and grace to gain the werewolf leader's trust, allowing her to present her the truth. Her beauty was not just captivating, it became a tool of diplomacy, guiding him toward the proof of the Nazis' betrayal. With a delicate balance of intelligence and allure, Lady Zofia drew the werewolf leader into a conversation that would change his destiny. Her elegance and mystery made her impossible to ignore, leading the werewolf leader toward the truth he had refused to see. The leader of werewolves realized that he made a mistake. He apologized Lady Zofia for his mistake. The werewolves started to help vampires. They escaped from Nazi prison and together they helped and supported SNP until Victory Day. After the war, they were celebrated as heroes until today. The end. This was, people, the last fairy tale about that was inspired by Victory Day. I hope this was a good lesson for you about World War II, about Nazi Germany, about everything from this topic. Thank you for your watching. Thank you for your listening. And in the end, I want to thank to Copilot. Okay, thank you, Copilot, that you has found the information about this kind of human history, and thanks to you, I could read it now, and you are a good helper for learning English, for chatting with you in English, and thanks to it, I've really improved my English. Thank you, Copilot. Thank you all for your watching. Thank you all for your listening, and I want to tell you bye bye and happy Victory Day.